Hello YouTube, Elmas is Show Off here, and I have for you guys today the return Wi-Fi battle. Yes, I'm finally back from PAX South, so no more like 5 pre-recorded videos. Everything is going to be good and just dandy, and I haven't gone through everybody's comments yet, but I'm going to make sure to reply to you guys that I have responses for, and just, yeah, let me know in the comment section below if you guys would like to see like a recap video of PAX South and like the stuff that I bought, because if you would like to see it, then I'll definitely get around to making that. If not, then I understand. And just in a nutshell, PAX South was actually very fun. It was great meeting YouTubers, PokeTubers that you talk to like on a daily basis. For example, Pedro. I've known Pedro for a couple months now, and we actually had this battle face to face IRL, and it turned out to be a pretty good close battle. And if you guys don't know who Pedro is, TheGreatBulbasaurus, I'll leave his channel link and Twitter link down in the description. Anyways, I am rambling on way too much. Let's go ahead and get the battle started. So going into this match, the biggest threats I saw on Pedro's team were going to be Hydreigon and Medicham. Medicham, however, though, as long as I keep Cresselia, won't be as big of an issue. But this Rotom, I know from a previous battle that we had earlier in the day, is Choice Spec, so I really have to watch out for that thing and make sure I don't lose my Snorlax. So he does end up leading off with the Rotom as I lead off with my Manchow. I'm going to go ahead and go straight for the Fake Out as he makes a safe play by bringing in the Durant. I stay in and I end up going for the high jump kick. In hindsight, I probably should have just hard switched out, because if he had stayed in and gone for an Iron Head or a potential X Scissor, I think he might have been able to knock me out or bring me down to the point where my Life Orb would have knocked me out. However, though, Pedro did end up going for the Home Claws, thinking I would switch out, as I'm able to knock him out with the high jump kick. I get a crit. I'm not too sure how much that crit matters though, because I don't know the damage output, but he's going to get a free switch into his Medicham here, and I'm going to stay in thinking that, okay, I can go for the U-turn, go right into Cresselia, which Cresselia can easily take Medicham 1v1, and for those of you who are wondering why he has Mega Medicham in UU, it is because Mega Medicham is being suspect tested right now in UU. So I bring in my Cresselia, as I believe he switched out into his Donphan. I do actually carry the Ice Beam on this Cresselia because I was too lazy to hard scale back on Moonblast, so I'm going to be able to get off a super effective hit on the Donphan. However, though, he does end up making a safe switch into his Rotom Heat, knowing that I really can't do anything to him, as I make a very terrible and dumb play, and for whatever reason I switched into my Crobat. So let me just tell you guys, this is my one dumb play in this match, and Pedro has his own dumb play later in the battle, but that's because we did have this battle pretty late at night, so just, yeah, bear with me here, as I can get a free switch into my Crocodile knowing that he's locked into Discharge. I'm going to be able to Pursuit Trap him, get off a huge amount of damage, as he can now get a free switch into the Donphan. This is really not too bad of a situation for me, because what I can do is stay in and go for the knockoff, knowing that he's going to go for the Stealth Rocks. Seeing as I lost my Crobat, there's really no reason for him not to get up rocks right now, as this turn I'm going to switch out, expecting him just to want to go for the Ice Shard, knowing that I do need to keep Crocodile at a relatively high amount of HP for later in this match. Donphan can do nothing to my Cresselia, and with me already knocking off his leftovers, I can then hit him with the Ice Beam and get off a pretty good amount of damage on him, as I actually end up going for the Psychic this turn, predicting him to want to switch out into the Medicham, most likely thinking, not Medicham, sorry, into either Gastrodon. Well, basically what I'm trying to say is that I went for Psychic knowing that he would switch out and not stay in. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know what he was going to try to bring in, but I Psychic knowing he would switch. So, yeah, I'm able to catch the incoming Gastrodon. I know that this is a specially defensive Gastrodon, so if I stay in, he's going to eventually beat me one-on-one, because he can burn me with Scald, or he can go for a Toxic, as you see here. And the reason why I brought in my Snorlax is because I am Curselax, of course. I'm Rest, Sleep Talk, Curse, Body Slam, which means even if he had burned me with the Scald, it really wouldn't have been a big deal for me, because I could have then just gone for the rest and then gone from there. Unfortunately, because he does have the Medicham, my Snorlax won't exactly be that big of a help to me in this match until I get rid of Medicham. So I'm going to make a rather aggressive play, and I'm going to go straight for the Body Slam, as I'm actually able to catch the incoming Donphan, which is not that bad for Pedro, just because unless he gets paralyzed on an absolutely crucial turn, this paralysis really does not hurt his Donphan whatsoever, just because Donphan doesn't already have the highest speed around. So me paralyzing him doesn't really benefit me whatsoever unless I stayed in and started going for curses. But then even at +2 defense from curse, I think Medicham still just straight up OHKO Snorlax, and I was also toxic. So I switch into my Crocodile as Pedro goes for the Rapid Spin, thinking that I had Rocks up, so that's his dumb play there. As I'm gonna go for the knockoff, I'm gonna be able to destroy the incoming Rotom Heat, which is really great for me because that's one less thing I have to worry about. He can now bring in a Hydreigon, which I am fearing a Draco Meteor, although at the same time I was thinking he may go for U-turn. But either way, Snorlax is just my best and safest switch in because I really lose nothing by doing this. Even if it wants to U-turn into the Medicham, I have Cresselia. So I lose absolutely nothing by bringing in Snorlax as opposed to predicting him and staying in with Crocodile. So he does U-turn into the Medicham, which I'm perfectly fine with. I'm not really fearing anything that this Medicham wants to go for unless Pedro pulls out a random Toxic and hits my Cresselia. Then I'll be a little bit worried. But he does just end up going for the safe fake out. In hindsight, he definitely could have just gone straight for the high jump kick because it still would have destroyed my Snorlax, and fake outing was kind of a wasteful play on his part. Just saying, as I'm gonna go ahead and double switch into my Crocodile here, actually predicting him to bring in Gastrodon, which I know may seem a little bit odd, but my thought process was that I can go ahead and go for a Black Glasses boosted max attack stab knockoff on a specially defensive Gastrodon, and I do a solid 60% amount of damage, as I'm actually going to be able to live the Scald and thankfully not get burned. And I'm gonna go ahead and actually go for the Earthquake. In hindsight, I could have actually gone for the knockoff on the off chance that he did want to bring in a Hydreigon. However, though, that would have been a very risky play on Pedro's part, one play that he literally did not have to make, as I get off a solid amount of damage on the incoming Donphan. I really don't have any more use for my Crocodile at this point, so I'm going to leave it in for Death Fodder so I can get a free switch into my Cresselia, which will be able to knock out the Donphan with the Nice Beam or Psychic, whichever I choose to go for, as I do end up going for the Psychic. He did get paralyzed there when he tried to go for the Ice Shard, but you're going to see that that extra bit of damage he would have got off with Ice Shard really does not play a role whatsoever later in this match, as he can now, unfortunately for me, get a free switch into Gastrodon and basically get off a free recovery. But knowing that he is going to go for the recover, I'm going to switch directly into my Manchow. Now this was also a little bit risky on my part because he could have definitely gone straight for the Skull, predicting me to bring in Manchow. Luckily though, Pedro did make the safe play by going for the recover, as I'm going to be able to straight up OHKO this Gastrodon with the high jump kick, which is really great for me because that's one less thing I now have to worry about, as he can get a free switch into the Medicham. I obviously don't want to stay in and take a fake out and potential bullet punch combo, so I'm going to make the safe switch back into my Cresselia, as Pedro makes a nice play, predicts that, and is going to double switch into the Hydreigon. And I really wanted to stay in with Manchow there, but I knew switching out was going to be more beneficial to me. Unfortunately though, I am in a bit of a bad scenario here. What I have to have happen is that he cannot flinch me with this Dark Pulse, because if he had got the flinch there, then Pedro basically would have won the battle. Luckily, I didn't get flinched. I'm able to paralyze this Hydreigon. Actually, I don't know, because my Manchow still could have faked out his Medicham, unless he had Bullet Punch and my Medicham was at low HP. Actually, no, yeah, because Hydreigon outspeeds my entire team, so he would have been able to knock out my Cresselia. My Snorlax really couldn't do much because he did have Medicham, and just... Anyways, thankfully I don't get paralyzed there. I'm trying to play out the scenarios because I think that he definitely would have won if he did flinch me with that Dark Pulse. Luckily though, that didn't happen, so I was able to get off the Thunder Wave on Hydreigon and then Moonlight until the point where he got paralyzed, which basically is going to seal me the victory, because so long as I have Cresselia, then his Medicham can do nothing to my team. And because his Hydreigon is paralyzed, my Mega Pidgeot and my Manchow can easily outspeed him. I sent in Mega Pidgeot basically as Death Fodder. It didn't really matter that he got paralyzed there, because what I was going to do was bring in Manchow after he knocked out my Pidgeot, and then knock out Hydreigon with High Jump Kick. As he brought in Medicham, I was going to fodder off Manchow and then get a free switch into my Cresselia to just Psychic and eventually knock out the Medicham and win the battle. So yeah, the paralysis with Hydreigon against Mega Pidgeot did not matter whatsoever. As I fake out U-turn Medicham, I'm going to fodder off Snorlax here, and then this way I get a free switch into my Cresselia or just back into my Manchow. And that is going to be the 2-0 victory in my favor. So yeah, that was definitely a good, close, fun battle. Hopefully you guys did enjoy the return Wi-Fi battle, and just know guys that I probably won't be going anywhere for a couple of weeks or months potentially. So yeah, if you guys did enjoy, make sure to hit the like button down below, and with that being said, I will see you all tomorrow. So thanks for watching. Later everybody.